Welcome to the Fleet Geeks podcast. We're here to help develop fleet and transport professionals. Do you want to progress and develop your skills and knowledge? We promise to bring lively conversation and debate around interesting issues and keep you bang up to date with changes in our awesome industry. The Fleet Geeks are a community of professionals, and if you enjoy the podcast, why not join the discussion for free in the Fleet Geek community over on Facebook.
Hello everybody, welcome to Fleet Geeks. Looking at the camera again, didn't I? I did that in one. Managed to get away with it last time. Welcome to Fleet Geeks, our third episode. Yeah, and today we're going to be talking about the highway code and what it means really. So yeah, the interaction with heavy goods vehicles, what it means for drivers of heavy goods vehicles. And someone's phone?
Not mine.
Not mine.
It is yours.
I think it is yours.
No,
The trainer has left his phone on. The trainer has left his phone on.
That's why I was surprised it was mine. My phone never rings, got no friends.
Some lots of train of thought now as well. So yeah,
what does it mean to
what
heavy
does
goods
it mean?
vehicles?
Yeah, what does it mean?
I think the highway code changed recently. We're recording this early February 22. There's been a change come in at the end of January 22. There's a bit of uproar, shall we say?
It has caused a little bit of consternation.
So yeah, I guess what does it mean for people?
Yeah. To me personally, I don't think it's actually changed too much. How I will drive and I'm a keen cyclist, by the way, as well as you well know. So yeah, I think for me it doesn't really change much. To
I've
be
just
honest.
got an image of you in Lycra now.
Me and Lycra.
Get rid of that image.
If we get to episode 100, I'll do it.
There you go, people.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
So I don't think it will change much in my opinion. Like you said, there's been so much uproar about silly little things.
Yeah, a lot of nonsense in there. I feel there's been a lot of media outrage. They seem to be outraged at everything these days, don't they? The media seems to be a lot of media outpouring of whether it's just clickbait or whatever they call it. That's a word I didn't realise I knew. Whether that's
I'm dead impressed. Look at you with the lingo of the kids.
Ooh, get down with the kids now. We're online. I just think I feel some of it is a bit of clickbait. But what do you guys think about? What is the danger? What are the biggest
Confusion.
Confusion. I think that's it.
And the media can do that in many facets.
Yeah.
I think the biggest. So having looked at it, and I delivered a driver CPC course on the day that they were released, and I was delivering it with a waste and recycling company. And some of the drivers, if you're a driver, it's easy to feel hard done by because all of a sudden you're at the bottom of a hierarchy. So there's this element of emotion around being the bottom of a hierarchy, being the least important when we all like to feel important, and actually the hierarchy's placing pedestrians, horse riders, the most vulnerable people at the top of the hierarchy. But in reality, I think if drivers really sort of navel gazed at where they're at and how they drive, they probably already do this stuff already, right? They're already considerate people, they drive in a considerate way. I think the biggest challenge I perceive, and I'll be interested to hear your feedback, I think is from an insurance point of view, we're going to have more vehicles being considerate and therefore stopping on essentially a straight road. For example, they're going to be stopping at a junction when really, if you're not paying attention or you're being distracted for whatever reason, then there's far more potential for running into the back of someone. I think is probably where the risk is.
Yeah. Especially if it's a junction where you can't see, but the front car can.
Yeah, I think for me that's the biggest change for me with the highway code isn't the hierarchy. I agree with Peter and Jamie that I think we've done it. We do it as professional people, professional drivers. It's what we do. And why shouldn't the vehicle with the likelihood to cause the biggest harm be more responsible on the road? And I think we generally already are. I think nobody sets out with a vision of being unresponsible on the roads. But yeah, I agree. I think this giving way to pedestrians that will be crossing the road that you may be turning into, that's going to cause a lot of confusion. Probably a lot of rear end shunts, as Pete says. And a lot of confusion with pedestrians as well. Do I, don't I, can I, can't I? And you never know, there's vehicles coming the other way that might not be able to see them or realise why they've stopped. But for me, I think that's the biggest one. I don't think the hierarchy really gives me any shutters. But we have something in this training, in the training world, we have something called MMR, my mate reckons. and there's an awful lot of my mate reckons out there at the moment. My mate reckons if you don't open the door with your left hand, you're going to get a £10,000 fine or whatever it might be, or go to jail forever. I don't think these things are. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think these things are going to be with us, forever. But.
Hi, it's Pete from Flagship Partners. At Flagship Partners, we take road safety really seriously, and we're your road safety partnership. We help transport companies with compliance and training across their businesses, including first aid, driver CPC, and other transport management services. So if you're FORS accredited or you want to improve your operator compliance risk score, give Flagship Partners a call today.
That's my view.
Yeah, I think it's actually made me think about really funny. If any of you like, although he is an acquired taste, but Ricky Gervais in Afterlife, there's a section of Afterlife where he goes to cross the road and he's holding a little cactus pot plant, and this Range Rover just goes through the pedestrian crossing, and he's almost on it, and it goes through, and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, you were in such a rush because you're a full-time C word," and throws the cactus through the rear screen of the Range Rover. But it made me think of that, because actually, do you know what? I've got really frustrated before where I'm waiting at a pedestrian crossing and you do get some people who don't recognise it. And actually, the law or the highway code has always been when you're on the crossing, right? So actually, for someone who, I walk my children to school on an almost daily basis. I share the job with Maggie, my wife, but we have quite a busy road to cross, and there is no crossing. And actually, sometimes vehicles do stop, and sometimes you can see the vehicle screeching behind them, going, "Why on earth is this vehicle being so courteous because there's no crossing?" Actually, do you know what? Like, vehicles should stop at zebra crossings. That should happen. You shouldn't need traffic lights to make that happen. That should happen anyway in a 30 mile an hour zone or less. And ultimately, if it's school time and children are looking to cross the road, I think road safety awareness is at an all-time low. I think there's people who don't walk as much as they did. Kids are getting used to getting delivered to school by car, and I think we need to protect vulnerable people in that way.
We do. And one of the other things that's causing a lot of issues is this notion that cyclists can come and pass slow-moving traffic on either side. Haven't they always done that? Isn't that how it's always been? The highway code now says they can do that. But again, I don't see what really has changed there. If we've got a good look at it, if we're aware of our surroundings, then that shouldn't really be a problem. If we're going to be driving in a city or a town with cyclists, kind of expect that to happen, aren't we? It doesn't mean to say that bear in mind the highway code says that everybody's got a responsibility for their own safety and the safety of others, and it doesn't take anything away from that. They are still responsible for their actions.
That's the confusion with the hierarchy, isn't it? People think if they're bottom of that list, it takes responsibility away. So
absolutely, everybody's responsible for it. We all at the end of the day, we all have to look after each other, don't we? That's the crux of it.
And I love the call for, yes, we should make cyclists pay road tax, and we should make cyclists be insured, and those things. And I think if people really, really are realistic about that, that's not ever gonna happen. It isn't gonna happen, and I think we probably just need to move past that, because we're not going to be able to regulate cyclists. We can't give a cycle license. We can't insure cyclists, and I think and that's actually potentially they brought the highway code in to protect those who have got insurance, to make sure that they drive responsibly. What I'd say is, what we'll do, we've created a newsletter. If you're interested in understanding more about the highway code and the ins and outs, we're more than happy. If you ping us an email, we'll send you that information. We've also done a toolbox talk too. I'm more than happy to offer that to people if they want to send us an email and you're interested in getting a copy of our toolbox talk. Drop us an email, hello@flagshippartners.co.uk. Ask for the toolbox talk, and we'll be able to send that over for you to be able to use with your drivers. Because I think the key thing that I want to say is that if you're a transport manager or you're a leader in your fleet, you have got a responsibility to ensure that you've properly communicated those changes to your team. And I think that, you know, if you need the tools to do that, we're able to help. Or if you'd like one of us to do it for you, we're more than happy to as well. What do you think about that from a communication point of view?
Absolutely, and of course we've got the opportunity as well with incorporating that kind of thing into driver CPC. We have to do it. It's required by law to do driver CPC training. So why not make it useful? Why not make it relevant? And we're going to look to incorporate the new changes into our CPC offering. So, but not that was a plug at all, but yeah.
Shameless plug. Yeah. And on that shameless plug, I'm going to top and tail this third episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. Like I say, if you need more information on the highway code or the changes, or help in support of how to communicate that effectively with your team and record that it's happened, again, just give us a shout. We'd be more than obliged to help you. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed it. Please do share it with your friends. And if you've got any ideas for future episodes, please do give us a shout. And we'll make sure that we take note of those. Anyway, take care, guys. Bye-bye.
See you next time.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please share with your friends and colleagues too. Join us for free on Facebook with the Fleet Geeks community for transport and fleet managers. Fleet Geeks offers ongoing professional development, networking and mentoring too. So get in touch with me, Pete Rushmer, on any social media platform to find out more.